joining me today. This session is all about finding core control, or we could say core stability. And that is not just about having strong abs or even necessarily specifically working your abdominals. We're actually going to go and work on your visual system instead. Because what you need for midline stability or core control, when we do exercises like bird dog, for example, which will be included today, is something called reflexive stabilization, which we're not really going to be training that from a movement point of view. Like I said, we're going to be training that from one of your higher order systems, your visual system. And if there's a visual deficit, that can often cause problems elsewhere in the body, and you might not even realize that you have a visual deficit. So we're going to include things like smooth pursuits for your eyes, saccades for your eyes. Don't worry if you haven't heard those terms before, and near far jumps. So here's what you're going to need. Please, can you have 2 pens, any kind of pens? Have 2 pens. Make sure you've got all your equipment ready. This is optional, but when we do a standing exercise, it would be helpful to have a little bit of height. So you're going to be putting your foot on a yoga block, or maybe you've got something similar that you don't mind standing on, not too high, obviously. And then you can grab some really light weights, 1 kilo, maybe 2 kilos maximum, and I have all of that ready. One final optional thing is if you happen to have an ankle wrist weight lying around, you're welcome to include that as well when we do our standing exercises. So have all of your stuff ready, and we're going to start with your weights, please. So pick up your weights. We're going to do all your sort of core stability or midline stability exercises first. We're then going to go to your eyes and do the eye drills, and they won't take very long, and then we're going to repeat everything that we've done, and you're going to see if you feel a little more stable in your midline, which is the center line of your body. You can start by thinking middle of your feet, up the inside line of your legs, through your pubic bone, your navel, obviously the center of your spine, around your lower back. So that midline stability, you want to see if you can keep that. So we're starting with feet together, weights in your hands. If you don't want to use weights, just do this without. And then we're going to start with a roll down. I'll turn side on. Chin towards your chest and try and keep your legs straight. And with your feet together, this should already be challenging. You might notice that you shift your weight right and left, and I'm trying to get you to not do that. You're going to see when you roll back up, can you keep your weight as central as possible within your midline? Breathe in. Exhale, roll down. Try and keep your weight even through your feet. And I'm going to challenge this again very soon. If you can, your legs stay straight and roll back up with minimal weight shift. As little as possible, but you're going to pay attention if you are shifting quite a lot. If there's this, what we call postural sway. On this next one, you're going to stay down. Now we're going to take your left arm out to the side, and we're trying to maintain that core stability, lower down, but it should be reflexive. Left arm again, out to the side. Keep looking at your feet, please, and lower. Just make sure your weight is not too heavy, and we're trying to avoid shifting, but you might be swaying all over the place right now, and that's okay. Other side when you're ready. So do the same thing, but with your right arm. Out to the side and down. You're only lifting your arm about shoulder height. Keep your body weight forwards. If you need to soften your knees at this point, go ahead. One more time. Out to the side and in, and then roll all the way up. Okay, and you might have noticed a stronger side. So pop your weights down and come onto all fours for bird dog. Now, I want to make this particularly challenging so that hopefully you really notice the difference when we do the eye stuff. I would love your legs together, feet and legs together, which will challenge your midline even more. If you want to hold a weight in your right hand, be my guest. So we stretch right arm forwards, left leg back. And I want you to stay here for a second and notice if you shifted your body weight and then lower back down. We're going to stick with the right arm and the left leg. Inhale, they move at the same time. Stretch forward, stretch back. You're trying to keep your pelvis level, and you're not trying to lean into your right side. And one more time. Stretch out, Arm and leg move at the same time. Are you moving all over the place, or can you stay quite centered? When you're ready, let's do the other side. So it's the left arm and the right leg. They move simultaneously. Your midline balance or your core stability ideally needs to be reflexive. It can't just be about having strong abdominals. It goes beyond that. So the eye stuff is coming soon. One more time when you're ready. Stretch out. And you might notice one side is easier than the other. Cool. So sit back for a second. And we're coming back to that. And then you're going to come up to standing. And if you have an ankle weight, feel free to pop it onto your left ankle. Please don't worry if you don't have one or if you just don't even want to use it, okay? So it just makes the leg work a little more challenging. You are going to stand on your block, right leg, and the left leg is free to move. You can put your hands on your hip bones so that you work to keep your pelvis level. Now we've got this balance going on. And it's very much about midline stability and core control because I don't want you to feel like you're leaning off to one side. So when you're ready, we're going to move your leg out to the side and in with minimal leaning into your right side. If you need to have a wall next to you, just notice that. And you're just going to push the leg out and in. And the ankle weight just adds a little extra if you have one and you fancy using one. Of course, your standing leg is going to have to work quite hard, but I'm looking for control and stability here. We're going to move the leg forwards and slowly back. You're trying to keep your leg parallel and straight. The moving leg is straight, forwards and back. One more time, forwards and back, and then circles, 3 each way. Not big. Well done. And other way. 1, 2, and lower down. Oh, that's quite tough for the standing leg. So just notice that. You're going to switch your ankle weight if you have one. If you don't, just step onto the block when you're ready. And we're doing that all on the other side. After this, we've got our eye exercises. Okay, so when you're ready, lengthen up. Pelvis should be level. And we're simply moving the leg out to the side with a parallel leg and in. Out and in. Yes, your foot and ankle need to be strong. Yes, your standing leg needs to be strong, but you also need reflexive stability of the spine and your midline so that you don't wobble all over the place, forwards and back. Nice. Not a big movement. It's just enough to challenge your stability. And one more, forwards and back. And circles, 3 each way. And so we're moving the leg a little more now, and this might really challenge you. Other way. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and step down. Can you please grab just one of your pens? And we're going to come back and repeat all of those exercises after we've done your eye drills. So feet together. We're starting with smooth pursuits. You are going to take your pen and you're going to keep looking at something on your pen as you move the pen in a circular motion. And you've got to use your eyes, only your eyes. Please don't move your head. If you're moving your head, put your finger on your chin to stop it from moving. And you're only going to move the pen within your line of sight. So please don't move the pen all the way out here. It's got to be within the frame of your shoulders. And you're going to keep watching the pen. So your eyes need to do what's called a smooth pursuit. Your feet are together, and you might notice if your eyes are sort of jumping about or if you're not able to track smoothly. So it's kind of like an exercise in itself to get better at smooth pursuits, but hopefully it's also going to help our reflexive stability when we repeat the exercises. You're going to go the other way, changing the direction of the circle and constantly track the pen only with your eyes. Like I said, if you feel your head is moving, pop your finger onto your chin just to help keep your head still. And cool. Those are your smooth pursuits. You're going to grab your second pen. We're now going to do something called saccades or saccades. I don't know, it depends where you're from and how you want to say it. So your feet are together again, and this time you're holding up both pens, sort of just sort of in line with your shoulders, okay? You are going to quickly move your eyes right to left, right to left, right to left. You're going to keep going, moving from pen to pen or lid to lid. And you're going to just make sure that you don't overshoot the target or have to make an eye adjustment along the way. Keep holding your pens up. Don't move your head. This is only for your eyes. If you notice your eyes getting tired and you need to pause, blink a little bit and then reset. Keep going. Right, left, right, left, right, left as quickly as you can. And then have a rest. Okay? And then just pop one pen down. And our final one we're going to do is called near-far jumps. So you need to have a target that's close to you, which is going to be your pen, and then another target, which is maybe on your wall ahead of you. I'll use my camera and I'll just look straight down my lens, but maybe you're going to face something. So you're going to put the pen fairly close to you as long as it's not blurry. And then you're going to jump your eyes to your pen and then jump your eyes to your farthest away target. The other target, maybe it's a picture on your wall that you want to look at, and I'm looking down my camera lens. Jump your eyes to the near target, jump your eyes to the far target. Near and far. Now, if your near target is getting blurry, maybe you need to move it a little further away from you so that it's less blurry. Keep going, near to far, near to far. And you might notice that actually this can be quite challenging. If you're feeling like eyes are stinging or getting tired, please pause and have a break and continue when you're ready. Cool. And then we're going to go back and repeat everything that we just did. So grab your weights. Feet are together. You're going to do those roll downs. Make sure your feet are together. And what I want you to notice is if there is less postural sway. And roll back up. Cool. We stay down and you're going to add in the arm movements. Now it's one arm at a time. Let's go left arm. Out to the side and back. And with the weight, it should be quite challenging. Now I just want you to notice if there is a whole lot less postural sway or if you feel maybe a little more stable. Not because you're trying harder, but because you did those eye drills. Do the right arm. I'm just going to turn around. Right arm when you're ready. 3 each way. Keep breathing. I must say, I definitely feel a bit more stable. Last one. Cool. And then pop your weights down. Go back to your bird dog. I want your legs together, remember? You're going to go right arm forwards, left leg back. Are you leaning less? Does it just feel a little smoother, a little easier? Same arm and leg. Right arm forwards, left leg back. I feel like I don't have to put in as much effort to stay stable. But what about you? What response are you getting? Other side, it's more challenging when your legs are together. You're doing your best to stay in your midline. Arm forwards, leg back. A whole lot easier. One more time. Cool. And then we're going to go back to your standing exercise. Grab your block or whatever you're standing on. And if you want to, you've got your weight. And you obviously have to put it on your opposite leg. So we're going to stand up on the block. Make sure your heel is definitely on the block, especially if your foot is bigger than the thing you're standing on. Okay, find your midline. You want to be as upright, not leaning. And then when you're ready, we move the leg out and in. Wow. That feels so much easier. You tell me in the comments, leg forwards and back. Leg forwards and back. And hopefully what that means for you is that you should just be using those eye drills in life just as like part of your warm-up, or just a separate little exercise whenever you want. You've got your 3 circles each way, other way. And just notice if you perform those with much more ease than before. Switch legs when you're ready. Okay, this is optional, but ankle weights are great if you ever want to purchase some. Okay, cool. So, nice and level pelvis, out and in. Now, if you're not noticing a difference, that potentially means that you need to perform more of those eye drills. We're going forwards and back, and that you might need to be more accurate with them, and somebody might need to watch you do them to help tell you whether your eyes are not actually tracking the target as well as they should. So perform them with somebody watching you, and then we're going to finish with those circles, 3 each way. And change direction. And cool. You are done. Let me know how that felt in the comments. It's one worthwhile coming back to and practicing, and you can use those eye exercises for any sort of core stability exercise that you are potentially planning to do. So let me know. Have a look in the description for more information. I include a lot of this sort of stuff in my online Pilates and strength classes, as well as my in-person classes. So if you happen to live in or nearby Finchley in Northwest London, I would love to see you there. See you soon.